All right, fellas. I got a hell of an episode for y'all today. So grab yourself a little slurp, get your posture up, and get ready because I got a fire guest, flyweight MMA fighter who I may or may not have fought. He's a tough motherfucker, crazy wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. I'm here with Connor Smith. How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
Talking about some stuff,
Yeah. So you cornered last night, you said?
last night cornered. We had 4 guys fight. I cornered 2 of them. Two
Yeah.
guys last night. It's pretty cool.
How you cornered 2 of them?
Yeah, I cornered.
How many of them won?
Both. We went 2-2. The guys I cornered, one lost a split decision, and then one won a doctor stoppage TKO after the second round. Broke the dude's nose.
Oh shit.
Yeah, busted him up. It was his debut too.
Looking like Rob's nose.
Dude,
on
it
the
was
other
crazy.
side.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
Really?
Because, I'm in the corner, motivating him to get him ready for the third. And then the referee's like, he goes, hey, guys, they're calling it Dr. Stoppage. And I look over, and I was like, what? Dude, nose is, covering his whole face. I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know he got him that bad in the nose. I knew it was bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, his nose was cut. Wole face was his nose. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't know you was tagging him up that. He goes, I didn't know I was doing that either. He thought he was just having the time of his life out there. So that was pretty fun, though.
Mm-hmm. Just how often do you corner?
I've been doing it a lot recently. I fought last year. I fought 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and then after my last fight in December when I fought for Cage Thunder, I kind of took a step back and was kind of helping cornering. So I've cornered a lot this year. I traveled down to West Virginia to corner. I was down in Kentucky cornering, and then I cornered, like I said, last night, and then I cornered for BCM when Kyle fought and won his title there. So I've been doing a lot of cornering, have my license and everything. So
That's pretty
official
fire.
cornerman.
Do you think that helps you your skills?
Yeah, it really helps me. It slows everything down, seeing what, I can see what they're not seeing, so I know that's what it's like for my coach when I'm fighting. So I can see all these openings for these guys and, seeing, I don't know, it's real cool, especially on the ground, jiu-jitsu came way more natural to me than striking. It's slow motion for me, and watching that stuff, seeing those guys do it, and I can see all the openings for them, I was really able to help a lot of guys on the ground, guys that we have that are just strikers that aren't good on the ground.
Yeah.
They dude, put Connor in my corner, he'll help me get out of bad spots. So I've always liked cornering, and it really helps me open my eyes and see it from a different perspective than just being in there myself, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on offensive coaching? I'm just gonna use Tim Welch for an example. Everybody knows the Tim Welch versus Aljamain Sterling.
Aljo, you got
What do you think about that?
I think it's smart, honestly. I don't know. I don't feel like it would. At the same time, though, I don't feel like it would work on me, because I'm not used to other guys' voice. You guys, it was different. I've heard Gary talk all the time, so I could hear him when.
Well,
yeah,
everybody can hear Gary.
Can hear Gary. No matter where Gary's at, you can hear Gary talking. But if I'm fighting somebody I don't know who their coach is, I'm not gonna hear their voice.
Right.
I just did a boxing match not too long ago, and I had 2 my buddies corner me. I couldn't hear a word they were saying because I've never heard them in the corner.
Right.
It's not my coach, so I don't know if that would really work on me. But if you can get that to work, if that really did work for Tim Welch and them, dude, I think that's a cheat code.
I 100% agree because I've heard him talk about it. He got so much hate for that.
Yeah, but
and I heard him talk about it, and he was saying that bro, my best friend is in there fighting, and the dude is trying to fuck him up.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what I have to do to help him out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that'd work on me either.
Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, because I've had other people corner me that's not my head coach, and I haven't been able to hear them as well. So I'm if I don't know this dude's voice, I'm not gonna know what he's saying. So if he's saying something like that,
well, the only thing I can see that it may work is in the chaos of a massive arena with tens of thousands of people screaming. You don't really know who's yelling or what.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I could see that, but
no, say if you can get that to work, I feel like that's a cheat code.
Yeah, I agree.
Use that the best you can. So.
Yeah, that's pretty fire. Yeah, going back to Gary though, my first MMA fight against Daniel Castro, we fought at the Cube.
I fought on that one.
Yeah, you did. Who'd you fight?
Fabian, that kid from Chicago.
We called him. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What's your cussing rule on this show?
He
wrestle fucked the shit out of me. Yeah, I did not wrestle. Everybody thinks I wrestled. I didn't wrestle at all in high school.
I was gonna ask you that. You didn't wrestle in high school?
No, I didn't wrestle at all. And I was this kid was obviously a good high school wrestler. I don't know if he wrestled in college. And at the time, I was like, I don't care. I'll stop it. I would stuff the first shot, and then he just reshot and get me up against the cage and pull me off the cage.
It's a little bit like Marab,
Oh,
just
dude,
like
it was so
reshoot.
bad. I was so tired by the third round. I was like, oh my God. There was that 1.2 in that fight. He goes to shoot, and I actually stop it, and we get to a body clinch. I pull him up against the cage. I knee him in the body, and at this point, I'm definitely down 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And his head's right there. I was like, I might just whip. Oh, my fault, and we'll lose by DQ. But I thought otherwise. And then, of course, he took me down. So I was like, I should have just done it.
Yeah.
I should have done
You
it.
should have sent it. That would have been
funny,
fucking
man.
funny. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, back to Gary. He wasn't even in my corner. Gates was in my corner for that
the
Daniel
first one?
Castro
Oh,
fight.
yeah.
And Gary, I'm up against the fence. Daniel Castro has me up against the fence, and Gary's like underhook, like screaming
You can
commands.
hear that dude
Oh my
everywhere.
God!
Like I fought Armani, and
Mm-hmm.
Armani, he was not cornering Armani. I have a video of the finish, and I get Armani with a rear naked choke, and as Armani's trying to wall walk up the cage, you can hear Gary clear as day. Wall walk. I'm like, he's not even in the corner. Like he's all the way over there. I'm like, he's so loud. Like it's
Dude,
crazy.
He's very loud.
He is, but it works.
Yeah.
My last boxing match. He was running the tickets at the door, and I could hear him
Mm-hmm.
coaching me outside. I'm like, how can I hear him over my corner? Like I knew his voice more than the guys in my corner, just because
Yeah.
I let my buddies do it. I was like, this is funny.
He's a character, man.
He is. Gary's funny, man.
He is. Let's transition a little bit. So your first MMA fight was in December 2022, I believe.
Yes.
What were some of the thoughts you had, or like the emotions you had going into that fight?
Man, that was crazy. I just turned 18 in August, so I was still in high school.
Are you allowed to fight before 18, or you have to be 18 to
You
fight?
have to be 18. There's some certain things like we have a kid. He's 13.
Uh-huh.
He did like a youth MMA thing at like the Arnold Classic and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's little things like that, but at least in Ohio for sure you got to be 18.
Okay.
So I had just turned 18. I was supposed to fight in September for OCL. My opponent pulled out the night before, and then the whole show ended up getting canceled they wanted to do it outside. I hate outside shows.
Me too.
It got rained out. So I didn't get to fight, and then they moved. I was going to fight in December. I was supposed to fight Armani.
Okay.
And Armani got hurt, and they were like, and I didn't know anything about really anybody at the time. They're like, we got Marcelino. You're going to fight Lino.
Oh, yeah, Lino.
And I was like, short little dude, yeah, whatever. That is the hardest I've ever been punched still in my life by that dude. Oh, so hard.
What's crazy is he's like 120.
He's little.
He cracks.
Like I felt big, and he hit me one time. I was like, I don't know how I am standing up right now. But going into that, it was the main event of that show, and I was excited. Obviously, I was nervous, but that's when I knew I was really gonna like this stuff, because when I walked out, I got like tunnel vision. Like I could only hear myself when I was walking out. And as soon as I got in the cage, I looked at everybody and I started hyping up the crowd. I was like,
that's
dude,
fire.
I was like, I love this. And I remember after the first round, I get to the corner. Coach Johnny looks at me and goes, you having fun? I was like, hell yeah, dude. This is sweet, man. But that was a crazy fight. That was a fun fight. I mean, it was weird because, like, I was 18. I think Lino was 29 when I fought him. I was like, I'm fighting a grown man. Like, he has his kids in the front row. I was like, that's crazy. Like, I'm fighting a grown man right now.
Yeah.
And I'd never been in a fight in my life. Like, I didn't get no street fights or nothing like that. Like, that was my first time fighting somebody, was that show. And it was a fun fight. But like I said, that was still the hardest I think I've ever been just clean punched in my life.
That's pretty badass. I mean, a lot of people, dude, they're so, like, just terrified of that. Which, I mean, to be honest, like, that is a terrifying feeling.
Yeah.
To, like, I always explain it, like, the most terrifying feeling is when it's just you three in there, you, the other guy, the ref, and everybody just starts to walk out of the cage, because then it's like, oh, fuck, I'm about to get into a fist fight.
It's right now.
Yeah, I'm getting into a fist fight.
I've known bouncing all over, but when we fought and the doctor,
Bro.
dude, they were waiting forever on the doctor. And I was like, and I heard you talk about your show. You were talking about doing the stare down thing.
Yeah.
I suck at those, bro. I can't. I start laughing. I can't do the stare down. Because I saw you staring at me. I was like, I was going to try, and I was like, I can't. And I turned around and started laughing. I was like, he's going to think he's in my head. I was like, this doctor stuff's got me. It was funny.
That was
insane.
Dumbest thing
Yeah,
ever.
I'm like, well, you guys should have waited to walk us out.
Right.
Just take an intermission. Make sure that dude's not dying or whatever's going on back there.
That's what I had told everybody that. I was like, why would they walk
Literally
both of us out?
Yeah.
We were in there for probably 5 minutes.
Dude, just pacing back and forth, awkwardly looking at each other. I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
I know. But what was crazy is, like, that whole camp, I had, like, hurt my shoulder earlier in that camp. And I was like, I was the whole idea of that camp for me was just like deal with the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna have emotions. You're gonna like things are gonna happen. Like you have to just deal with the emotions.
Yeah.
And before we walked out, I was gonna walk out to I don't remember. It was like a Corday song or some shit like that, and they didn't have it. So the guy comes back and he's like, he's like, we don't have that song. Find another song. So I picked like a Big X the Plug song.
Yeah.
He leaves. He comes back 2 minutes later and he was like, what was that song again? And I was like, bruh, like, what? And so Gary's like, just pick a Big X the Plug song. He leaves and comes back. And he was like, the words out of his mouth were, I'm sorry, what was that song again? I was watching the last fight. And I was like,
Bro.
I was like, but again, so like my whole like motto when we were in the cage, and I was like, you just have to like deal with these emotions. Like this is what it is. But I mean, so would you say that I mean, I'm bouncing all over too, but would you say that moment when you walked out and you were like hyping the crowd up, would you say that was like your key moment of like, all right, this is what I want to do?
Oh yeah, I knew it right then and there because I didn't know how I was gonna react with that. I knew I always liked doing stuff in front of people like that, like entertaining people.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is different, you know. This is real shit. So I was like, but as soon as I got in there, it was just instinct. I was like, I think this is what I'm gonna like to do. And then after that fight, I was like, I was ready to get another one. And then I ended up waiting like 6 months, I think, till I got my next MMA fight. I did a couple boxing things, but yeah, that was. But right then, I was like, yeah, this is.
I was gonna say, dude, you're pretty active every time like a local card comes up.
Yeah,
Connor Smith fight. Yep.
That's all. Dude, my first year, like 2023 and 2024, I actually think I had more fights, but I was 2023. If you count boxing and stuff too, there was a point I boxed every weekend. I was doing something like I had boxed down in Cincinnati one night, and then I came back and Fostoria boxed David Music that one night. After
that was a good fight. I was watching that fight. That was a good fight.
Dude, I was going into that. I remember going into that fight. I'd fought that Sunday for down in Cincinnati for a boxing title, and I won. So I was like, felt good. Then I got sick. And I want to say I had bronchitis is what it was for a while, and I didn't train at all that week. And I was like, got a title fight. We'll go into it. And that building was 1,000 degrees that day. I was laying in the back, ice on my chest and on my head. I was like, dude. Then I go out there and music's hitting me with these bombs,
bro.
Poof, poof. I was like, oh my god. And we had I remember. We was working with like a different boxing coach at the time. We ain't work with this dude no more, but he was like Johnny's like, we're gonna let him corner you this time. I was like, all right, whatever the game plan was. He warmed me up too much. I don't like warming up a lot at all. I'm not a warm up guy, and
it is crazy. Some people like the way their warm ups are so different.
Yeah, dude, I barely do anything. Dude, when we was warming up to fight for our fight, Johnny's having me doing leg kicks. I said, I ain't kicking this dude once. I said that is not in the game plan, bro. But nah, he's like, but this guy for the boxing match, he was warming me up a ton and like getting me. I was like, this is way more than I want to do. But then we go out there, he's got whatever the game plan was. Does not work. Music's piecing me up.
Yeah.
We go into getting in between round. He goes, I think we can get it to work this round. I was like, you kidding me, bro? We go out, it doesn't work. Third round, I was like, bro, you better not say we're doing this again. I said, because I'm just going out there and throwing everything I got and trying to knock this dude out. I said, because if not, I'm gonna lose this fight, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fun fight, but I was ready to get out of there afterwards. I felt like ass. I was like, I just want to go home.
Dude, I bet, bro. Being sick and fighting, especially boxing, like I feel like I don't know. I hate boxing.
I hate boxing, dude. It's the worst.
Yeah.
I hate it. That's why I didn't do it for so long.
I had fought this guy. I want to say September, and it was just I was already fighting an entire 10 pounds, like an entire weight class up.
Yeah.
Like I was fighting at 45. The dude misses weight. He weighs in at like 155. Jesus Christ. And I was like, my fiance is like, no.
You're not doing
no. And I was like, I'm not a bitch. Like we're gonna fight. Dude, he fucked me up. He like it wasn't that he was just bigger.
Yeah.
That dude was good.
Dude,
he was
you
good.
get them guys, like, that's the thing. Like, I do it, like, I would never claim to be a boxer. I'm an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
If you get me to fight someone that just boxes, he's going to kill me. Like, I was like, but if we go in MMA, I'm going to kill that dude.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. Like, them guys that just box, God, they're good.
Their hands are
so good, man.
Their hands are different.
You feel like you're like 10 steps behind. I'm like, there's nothing I can do to this, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just one part of the art. Like,
Part
if
of
we're
how it
boxing,
goes.
I'm gonna kick you in the head. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna box you. Like,
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, dude, that was that one dude down in Cincinnati I was talking about. He was a boxer. I know I beat him,
Mhm.
but it wasn't pretty. Like, I tried to technical box him, and it was not
Nope.
working. I was like, this is getting. I started dirty
Yep.
boxing,
Yep.
clinching.
Yeah.
I ended up winning doing it like that. But I remember, like, he was real like talking shit beforehand, and like I said, I've never done that with anybody that I fought, and I was like, this is kind of
Mhm.
weird. And then we did like this whole press conference thing. He's like talking shit at the press conference. And then after that, everyone's like, maybe just an act for the press conference. And then he was like still doing it afterwards. I was like, dude, this was a real fight. Like, I would
Yeah.
absolutely kill you. You
Yeah.
know that, right? He
Yeah.
would always talk like, yeah, I would never do MMA. I said, then quit talking shit,
Yeah.
bro, because I will kill you in a cage. I was like, you're lucky we're boxing. And then I beat him in his own sport. I was like, so whatever, dude. You're not beating me in anything now. I beat you in yours. You'll never come to mine.
Yeah.
So,
That's
that was always my
bro.
thing.
That pisses me off when I hear boxers say like they're running their mouths. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude.
I think you shared it on Instagram where it's like,
Y-
yeah,
Yep.
dude, that's just so funny. He's like, yeah, we can fight, but no this, or this.
Yeah,
We can
and then
only punch.
I open the comments and all of them are like talking shit about MMA fighters, and I'm just laughing.
An MMA
like,
fighter
bro.
will kill a boxer. That's
Yeah.
why the MMA fighters go to boxing. Boxers don't come to MMA.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it goes.
Dude, you see the Ben Askren thing?
A little bit about it. I didn't see much of like
guess-
what all was going on.
I guess he has like staph in his lungs
Hell?
and like pneumonia. I don't. They said it's pretty bad. So I mean, hopefully he can make a full
Ben
recovery. Oh, Ben Askren, dude.
Talking about someone that shouldn't have went to boxing.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
That was.
I remember when that happened. Everybody hates on Jake Paul because it's Jake Paul. But they
I
were
know.
like, dude, oh, he's finally fighting at MMA. I was like, have you guys ever watched Ben Askren fight in MMA? That dude cannot strike.
No.
He is a bloodborne wrestler, bro.
I was praying,
Yeah.
but it wasn't gonna
It's not
happen.
I thought Tyron Woodley might have a chance when they first fought.
Me too.
I was like, there might be a chance here with Tyron Woodley.
Did they? They only fought once. Or
Twice.
I thought they fought
Because he
twice.
had it was like a close decision the first time, and then obviously that
And he
knockout
got
in the
slept.
second one. Yeah.
You think he took a dive?
I don't know, man. Like, if there's any sport where that stuff does happen, it's boxing.
Mhm.
So it's like, and if there's
Yeah.
anyone that's gonna pay for it, it's Jake Paul. So it's
Yeah,
like,
just straight up.
maybe I don't
Straight
know.
up. Especially against somebody like big name like Tyron
Oh
Woodley.
yeah. And guys that
Yeah.
need old retired UFC fighters that need the money.
Mm-hmm.
It all lines up. Like he could have done it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. if
I always
that's how it
laugh. I was kind of laugh. Like people were like, I mean, he has this stigma around him that he's like Jake Paul, the YouTuber, and I'm like, bro, that dude can scrap.
Yeah,
like
it's
he
not
can
like,
box.
No, like he still trains. Like this dude is a big dude that can fight. Like
You got to think
or he can box.
he's making. I mean, he's a he might be close to a billion.
Yeah.
He might be close to being a billionaire, and he's training 3 times a day. Can afford the best boxing trainers in the world.
He's got all the money in the world.
Yeah,
man.
this
Like,
dude can scrap.
He's
like,
gonna make it work.
But I don't know. Did you see speaking of taking dives, did you see that Paul Craig? I think it was Paul Craig.
Yeah,
That-
from last night
Mhm.
with that up kick.
Yeah.
That
He
dude was
like
selling-
falling down, looks at the ref, and then
He like
acts
crawls back. Like he just woke up from like a nightmare. He's like, looking around. I was like, bro, what are you doing? I've never seen someone act like that. Like that was
Yeah.
crazy.
That was nuts.
Bro, last night there was flyweights fought.
Mhm.
This one kid, no business being in there fighting. He was an independent, little scrawny
Oh my
kid.
goodness.
He had weigh-ins. He weighed in. It was funny. He gets on the scale because I'm there at the weigh-ins. He gets on the scale. He weighs 118. He goes, oh, I think I took the cut a little. I was like, bro, no, you weigh that. That's what you woke up at every day. Is it your little ass is 118 all the time.
Yeah.
He goes out there. This dude whips an overhand. This dude pulls his overhand from way, and this kid does not move. Boom, hits him right on the temple. This kid goes down, head hits, and both his legs are just twitching.
No,
I
that's
was like,
never good.
Oh my god, dude, the whole place went crazy. I was like, that was insane, and it was just, I was like, that kid should not be fighting. Like, that's proof. I don't care if you're an independent fighter. I think that's stupid. Like,
Why-
you need to get a gym.
What do you think what do you think that is? Like why you think it's just some random dude who thinks he can go in there and scrap?
You see, it's crazy how much you see that. Like, guys think they can just do that stuff. Like,
Mhm.
a lot of men just have that idea that I'm a man, I can go and fight somebody. I was like, it's not. I was like, street fight, sure, go do what you want. I said, but in a real fight, man, like, it's not.
Yeah.
These are trained guys. Like, doing this when I was in high school and I was training and fighting and stuff. People be like, oh, you think you could beat me up? I was like, Yes, and I don't mean that in disrespect. It's just logic, dude. Like, there's nothing you're gonna do to me
that I haven't.
Yeah, that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah,
like,
or haven't seen.
Yeah, literally, I was like, your barroom brawl style is like, no, dude, I'm going to hurt you any way I want to.
Yeah.
Like, and they would always, oh, dude, get all pissed. I'm like, dude, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like, I train, you don't. That's just part of how it goes.
I always just laugh. Like, I usually just say, no, you could probably fuck me up.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? Yeah, no, you'd kill me.
Yeah, just whatever.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. No, I suck. You'd kill me.
Yeah, it's just like, man. People are so delusional.
They really are.
Like, I always say that there's
bad.
2 types of delusion though. There's a good type and a bad type. You got the bad type where it's like it can get you severely hurt.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you get beat up in a fight and then you're just like, no, like if this would have happened, I would have fucked him up. It's like, but it didn't. You got beat.
Yeah.
Then there's a good type of delusion where it's like, all right, I'm gonna be a superstar. I'm gonna be this good. That's a good type of delusion.
Yeah, you need to have that to fight.
Yes.
If you don't go out there thinking you're like, oh, this guy's probably gonna beat me. Then he's going to. If you're thinking that, like, if you think this dude's gonna beat you, he's going to beat you. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's just part of how it goes. I mean,
what do you think the key moment, or do you have a key moment like in your career that was kind of like any type of turning point or?
I would say that my 4th fight when I fought Armani, and we fought at 125. I hadn't cut to 25 in a while, and I had a horrible weight cut. Like, I was cutting in the morning of the night in the sauna, and I cannot remember the term of what it's called. But my fingers were like locked up like this, like they were stuck, and my lips were puckered, and I couldn't stand up. I can't remember what it's called.
Let me ask AI.
But yeah, I was in the sauna.
When in doubt, ask AI.
Literally. I was in the sauna, my hands are like that, lips are like that, and my one of my teammates in the sauna with me, he looks at me and goes, do you need help? And I couldn't talk, I just shake my head up and down, and they have to carry me out of the sauna. They strip me down, butt-ass naked, put me on the scale 125. And, dude, I get to the weigh-ins, I was so just ready to eat, and I rehydrated and feel the best I could, but I was so nervous for that fight because Armani, that dude's a kickboxer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's fast. He's fast, too. That kid is fast, and I was like, there's not enough water in my head. Like, I cut so much weight, and so I was worried about that fight, about my gas tank or whatever, but it's actually probably one of my best performances I've had in a fight. So right then I was like, all right, I can, like, it really put some confidence in me because my fight before that was that kid in Finley just wrestling me for 9 minutes.
Dude.
So, like, that was a good bounce back feeling for me.
This just says, during a weight cut, when your hands lock up and lips pucker, it's commonly called just cramping or tetany due to severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalance, particularly low levels of sodium, potassium, calcium, or magnesium.
Yeah, it was a very bad weight
That's they call it claw hands.
Yeah, dude, I mean, they were stuck. Like,
like you couldn't move them?
No, I couldn't open them at all. My arms were all tight. Yeah, it was bad. I've never had anything. Well, I think my problem was when I first fought at 25, when I fought Marcelino, I walked around at like 134. Like, I didn't cut weight. Like, I really didn't cut weight. I got bigger and was like, oh, I made weight easy last time. Well, not thinking now I'm heavier. Like, especially now, I walk around like 150 pounds.
Really?
Right now, yeah.
You put on some fucking size.
Yeah, and so now, like, I cut like 25 pounds to get to 125. But then it wasn't that much, but it was still more than I was used to. Started to cut too late. Had to really ramp it up at the end and put me in a bad way in that sauna, dude. I was like, oh.
Hey, you pulled it out though. That
day I was saying, I was like, dude, fighting's not even worth it. I don't want to. This is stupid.
Oh,
I don't even want to do this. I did not want to be there at all, man.
What's the rebound after the fight? You start grubbing out.
Dude. Well, we have a tradition. We always go to Waffle House after. So we go to Waffle House, and then, dude, when it's after fights and I can eat whatever, I always say if I didn't do anything athletic, I would be so fat. I love food so much, dude. It's so bad. Like,
me too.
I would eat anything. So yeah, dude, I grubbed out over everything. I have a big sweet tooth too, like candy. I love candy, and I wish I didn't.
What's your like go-to dessert?
I love cheesecake. Cheesecake's one of my favorites.
Cheesecake's gas.
Cheesecake's my favorite stuff, man.
We've been making these like pretty healthy brownies. Just like really, I mean, like some almond flour, coconut sugar, like all that. I like to do stuff a little bit on the healthy side. Dude, they're pretty good.
Dude, yeah, if you can make stuff like that healthy, like it doesn't even feel like you're
cheating.
Because
Really.
sometimes if you're just eating so strictly healthy, you're like, man, I just want to eat something bad. Like it'll make you feel like you're eating something bad, but it's really not. You gotta trick yourself.
Bro,
sometimes.
we deserve it though sometimes.
Yeah,
we train hard.
Yeah, seriously, the weight would be cutting and stuff. What do you walk around at weight rise?
Dude.
Because I remember when you fought Castro at 25, you looked like you were about to die.
Dude, I
remember. I was like, that kid looks like he's gonna die.
If I can find my MMA license,
Mm-hmm.
I literally look like I was on meth.
Yeah, because I remember I was sitting there waiting on the doctor, and like you even were lighter than me that night because we did ours at a catch weight. Mine was at 130.
Mm-hmm.
So you fought even lighter than me, which is crazy.
I think I weighed 124 and a half. But I walk around. Dude, I weighed myself the other day. I'm like 140.
So I figured you didn't seem like you cut a lot. Yeah. Except for 35, I didn't.
But I mean,
you don't have a lot to cut.
Yeah, like
you're a lean guy. So.
Lean frame.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, it was scary. I was cutting by myself. I was in the bathroom. I literally had shut the door, just turned the shower on, and like it was just sitting there.
I've been there.
And then I had to go. I had like 3 layers on. I was outside jogging. It was bad, bro.
I used to. Every time I do that to start to sweat, I get a hair dryer and just let the heat hit me in the face to get the sweat started, smart. Just to speed it up. Yeah. Dude, I've done all kinds of stupid.
Dude, it sucks when it's stuff. Like you got like 4 layers on, jump rope, and you can't start sweating. That shit sucks.
So mad. It'll make me so mad. Or I feel like I sweat a ton. I get out of the sauna. I lost like a pound. I'm like, that's it. I'm like, dude, there's no way.
Yeah, that card, bro. I was so pissed. And obviously, I mean, poor sleep. Like you haven't been eating or drinking anything, so you're already irritable. I wanted to fuck that that like Ohio commissioner up, bro. Yes, I was the last person to weigh in.
Like, we should get this guy first. That's what I would do. I go by who looks the worst.
Yeah,
and then put them up. Like,
bro. I was back, dude. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fuck this guy up, dude. I swear to God. He was old, some old dude too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yes, dude, that old dude that always does it for Ohio.
Daniel Castro even looked at me. He's like, bro, it's okay. Calm down.
Which is crazy because you cut that much and he walks around under 120. Like,
dude, he's old. Yeah,
he was actually when Roman pulled out for this card, I was like, I don't know who. Like, there's no way to find a flyweight last minute. I was like, the only dude we might be able to ask is Castro.
Yeah.
But I think he had just come off an injury.
Really?
He changed gyms. I was like, he ain't gonna be able to do it.
Do you know why did he change? He moved like. I think he's up in Columbus, close to Columbus.
I don't know. I know he was. I don't know where he was. Oh no, he's at Garcia when you fought him, and then he was with that cartel,
cartel MMA.
Yeah, that Castillo's for. And now I want to say he's at Strong Style now.
I think that's right,
but I can't remember. It's something like that.
But he's good too.
He is really good for being that little too. He's good at everything.
His jiu-jitsu is really solid.
He's slick. I thought it'd been a fun fight. I was excited to do it if we got it.
Dude, you and him that'd be a fire matchup.
I'm surprised it's never happened yet.
Dude.
I was like, there's no.
That's the matchup to make. That's a sick matchup.
That'd be fun. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what he's up to.
If I see that, I'm going to that fight.
I don't know how often he's fighting right now or what he's up to.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I talked to him when my last fight because one of his teammates fought at Cage Thunder. I talked to him that night because he had just won the Made Men Promotions.
Yep.
Their flyweight belt, but I don't know. I haven't seen him since then, so I don't really know what he's up to.
Dude, just what? Okay, yeah, I wanted to talk about the whole Roman thing. So you were supposed to fight last night.
Yeah.
Tell me what the whole debacle that ensued.
Dude, there was so much. So me and Roman have been like talking about fighting each other forever. And then December I fought Cage Thunder. I went
friendly talking or talking shit.
Friendly talking.
Okay.
And then I get on after I went at Cage Thunder. I get on the mic. I call out Roman.
That's fire.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be for Cage Thunder. I was like, because I needed a flyweight champion. I was like, this company needs a flyweight champion. I was like, Roman, me and you, whatever. So that kind of hypes it up a little bit. He goes and fights in BCM in February at featherweight, 145. Beats some dude. Dude sucked. I don't know who it was. I don't care. He was not good. He beats this dude, and he gets on the mic. He's like, Connor Smith, me and you. I was like, see, there we go. We're hyping it up.
That's
signed
fire.
The contract in March. It's set up for June. Couple weeks out, I get a text from the matchmaker like, you're gonna want to call me. I was like, oh, that is the worst text, dude. You're gonna want to call me. I was like, what? They're like, Roman's out. Roman got sick. all this stuff. So he gets sick and he's out, and then that's when I was like, dude, there's no way we can find anybody to replace him.
Yeah.
We couldn't, so I just was like, all right. I was like, they were like, you can try to. What the thing was, the decision to make was, I wasn't gonna get a flyweight title. That was for sure. Like, we can find you if you just want to fight. Maybe you can fight at like 35 and just fight somebody. And I was like, I've been doing that my whole career, just being like, I'll help you out and fight whoever. Like, there's so many times I've bumped up weight just to fill the card for somebody. I was like, I'm gonna be selfish. I've earned my title shot. I'm gonna wait it out until I get my title shot.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully, right now I'm in talks for something in August. Hopefully, I get August. Just gotta find the right
August. That'd be pretty sick.
Would be cool. Be right before I turn 21. So
that's dude. Little party afterwards.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Celebration.
He fought Josh Harper, who was 2-1
at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was looking at his Tapology the other day. It was like, all right. I mean, he's 5-0, but I mean that's. But first fight fought an 0-3. Second fight fought an 0-1. 1-1. 6-6. 2-1. So.
Yeah. I mean, we both fought Nick Lute. We share the same opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, both beat him by decision.
Yeah.
Same thing. So, I don't know. I was excited for it. I thought it was going to be fun.
Yeah. What's he, like, predominantly good at?
Oh, he's a wrestler. 100%.
Is he?
Yeah. Him and his brother both strong wrestlers.
I think they fought on the, or one of them fought on the
night we fought.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was.
His brother fought.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, he fought that night.
What happened?
Look at Mylan's. Look at his Tapology. Look at who he fought that night. I will give Mylan credit, though. He won last night. He beat Kyle Bargy, who was one of the top bantamweights in the state of Ohio. So, for everyone that gives the Parabecks crap, they don't fight anybody good, Mylan did, and he won. So, there's his credit.
He's 5-0, too.
He's 6-0 now.
Oh, it's not updated.
Yeah, he'll be 6-0. But yeah,
who was it?
Nightmare.
Brandon Yance, is that who he fought?
Yeah.
Who was 0-0?
Yeah. But, like, I don't think he did anything before that. Like, I think he trains now, but at the time, I don't think that dude did anything.
Really?
Yeah, and Mylan at that point was like 2 or 3-0 going into that fight. I was like, how did he get that? I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah, give me one of them.
Yeah, I was like, how'd you set that up?
Yeah. I was a little pissed that I fought Timmy Likens twice.
I was wondering. I was like, why'd they set that up again?
I don't know. I was like, so what had happened is I fought Daniel Castro, and then like I was literally at practice the next week, and who was it? Why can't I think of it? RJ. You know RJ?
Yeah, box RJ.
Yep, RJ. Dude, that dude is a.
RJ's the man.
Oh my god, I love RJ. He is a savage. He's like he's worse than Chris Moutinho. Like he's gonna stalk you down. It doesn't matter how many times you punch that dude.
We had a boxing match, and that's what I remember. The way he fights, the RJ just brawl like. And I remember my coach was like, "Do not get caught up in the RJ brawl." I'm like, I was like, that's why I wanted this fight. I want to do the brawl. Yeah. So we're brawling, and then by the third round, I was like, I shouldn't have done this. I was so tired.
He doesn't get tired. He just marches forward.
He has a little belly. You think he would get tired? Nope.
Yes.
He does not get tired.
He is, dude.
And the nicest dude I think I've ever met.
Oh, my God.
That dude is the nice. He's hugging me after. I was like, you're the nicest guy ever.
I love RJ.
He is. And he's doing pro wrestling stuff now. That's so
it's
cool.
Sick,
dude,
yeah.
It's so cool. He's living a kid's dream, man.
But, yeah, so RJ comes into practice, and he's like, I'm not gonna be able to make 135. And coach is like, all right, fuck it. Hayden, you're coming to Kentucky next week. And I was like, all right, I guess. Which I didn't really have a say, but it was literally my girlfriend's birthday that weekend. And I was like, I called her and I was like, well, I'm going to fight. And
that's funny.
I mean, I head kicked him, so it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember seeing that.
Which is crazy, but people thought I like knocked him out with the head kick. I did, but like probably 2 seconds before that, I kneed him in the face. But the camera angle switched.
Oh, you can't see
it? He was like, I don't know what the hell he was doing, but like I basically just got up, and as I got up, he was like basically on all fours, like reaching for my legs, like standing up. And so as soon as his legs or knees were off the ground, boom,
there it is.
But then I fought him, and then
you did the LFA one, didn't you?
Dude, I shouldn't have taken that. That was dumb.
I can't believe you took a 45 fight. When I saw that, I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, it gets you on LFA, which is cool.
Bro, I got my ass beat on LFA, though.
Yeah, I was there. I guess Chelsea fought that night.
Dude, that was bad.
But at the same time, I remember who I was with. Like, dude, see, because at the time, they're like, you might fight Hayden Mob. I was like, yeah, but I said, look who just beat him. Hold on. I said, let's give him some credit. He fought Blake Alvey,
dude,
who's huge and really good.
Everybody was saying, like, you're going to fuck this guy up. Plus, I had just come off of a win against Daniel Castro, and then I just head kicked Timmy Likens.
Yeah.
And, like, this is where I was talking about the bad delusion comes in, because, like, you have this, like, overinflated sense of ego. Like, I just beat 2 guys. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna ruin this. Like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. I'm gonna knock him out. That's what I thought going in.
Yeah.
And so I go in there, and it was like, that ain't what happened. That dude whooped my ass.
Dude, that idea, that delusion thing. My fight going in with you, I was on a 3-fight win streak. Had submitted everybody. I was like, dude, Hayden can't grapple with me, dude. I'm gonna take him down. I'm wear him out. And that's like that was my game plan, obviously. I mean, that's what I was trying for.
Yeah.
I remember too, because we start out, and I remember looking across the cage, and you were bigger than I thought. I was like, big dude. I was like, I'm in the wrong weight class. I said, but we're here. I remember you come out and you throw that T. Bam. I was like, all right. And then that spinning back one. Boom, and everyone goes, oh. I was like, all right, let's go to the ground. We got to get here now. I was like, next kick, I'm catching. Because, like I said, I didn't wrestle. I was like, I'm not shooting a shot. I said, whatever kick it's throwing, I'm getting. I think it was, you throw a head kick. Is that what you're going for?
I think I threw a body kick, like a roundhouse body kick.
I just remember I saw it, and I was like, bam, there it is. And I was like, I had to go. And I remember working you down on the ground. And then I got you up against the cage, and I remember you start taking a deep breath. And I remember thinking, perfect. I get back to the corner, I was like, Johnny, I said, he's tired, bro. I said, we're going to keep doing this. He's going to give up something. I'm going to catch a submission. And then, obviously, the second round, bro, I was like, oh.
Dude.
That experience for that was crazy. Because, like, I had hardly ever been in my life been even rocked by a punch. So I'm thinking I have a steel chin. I was like,
right.
And and it's so funny because I remember going into this fight, I'm talking to my dad. I talked to my dad about all my fights. I was like, dude, I don't see a way Hayden can beat me. I said, unless he catches some crazy knee or kick to the head. I remember saying that to him. I was like, that's all I can think of. That's all I can think of. And well, this is my chance to explain what I was thinking in the moment when he threw. So I thought, obviously, it's slick. You did the switch. I didn't think you were going to do the switch. I thought it was the one. I was going to meet the one, catch it, take you down on the one. Let it hit me in the chest, smother it. That's why I bit so hard. And then I remember it doesn't come. And I remember literally going like this and looking over and seeing.
Oh, no.
It's like that meme with the dog. The dog's looking in. That's what it was like, bro. I was like,
was it like the Aljo one where he just closes his eyes? Like,
yes, dude,
oh, no.
Because, like, I thought for sure, it's like, I knew knees and stuff you're going to throw. And I was like, he's going to throw. I guarantee he'll throw a jumping knee. I was worried about up kicks. I was like, you're going to try to up kick me. I was like, I know he's going to try to up kick me in the guard. So, but I was thinking of too, but I knew the knee. I was like, oh, here it comes. I'm going to smother it, catch it, take you down. And then obviously it wasn't there. That's why. I mean, that was a perfect setup. I mean, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, you took it like a champ, bro. I went back and I was talking to you. You were just laughing, good spirits. It wasn't like
Dude, that's what I wanted to talk about too. Like, I remember all of it now. But I remember when I came back to, everyone says I walked to the back by myself.
Really? I didn't know.
I don't remember. but no, I was like, I get to the back, and I remember sitting in the chair, and it's Chelsea, Johnny, and you right there. And I was like, well, fuck, this didn't go good. Yeah. And I was like, dude, what happened? And I remember it was playing on the TVs. Remember how horrible the quality was on the TVs? Like, it was like so far behind. And it couldn't have been timed perfectly. I get up to Johnny. I was like, what happened? What did he get me with? And he just points to the TV. Oh. And in this choppy slow motion, it's you, the knee coming up. I was like, oh my God. I remember going up to you. I was like, shit was dope, dude. Yeah. You got me. And I laughed about it. And then you left, and I was laughing. Then I got really pissed, and I was mad. And then I started crying. I hit everything all at once. I was like, I can't believe that just happened to me. Yeah. And the only thing I had people that bought the pay-per-view because I was fighting for a belt, and they thought it was going to be cool. And the first thing I did was text all these people were texting me, are you okay? And I was just like, I'm sorry you guys had to watch that happen to me. And that's the first thing that came to my mind is I felt bad that everybody had to watch that. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, dude, that's just fighting. I mean, literally, it's just...
Like I said, I knew that was a possibility with fighting you. Like I said, it was in Kentucky that's where you can use your style well. Like, that's why I tried to get that fight with you the first time in Ohio. So you couldn't do like that to me, man.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, and that's like... Again, just that bad delusion where you just... Like... you just think that there's no possible way, like, I'm gonna fuck this guy.
That's the
up.
dude. That,
And
like I
it's
said,
just-
I needed that fight because I was, like I said, I was coming off the 3 fights in a row submitting people, and I was
and
like,
that kind of like opens your eyes, like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to get better at this.
yep. I was like, oh, dude, I can get caught with stuff now.
Losses are so important, especially in the amateur level. It's like,
Yeah.
especially if you want to go pro and like really fight, like
Oh,
be
yeah,
a fighter. It's
yeah.
like, okay, you got to be, you
Yeah,
got to take losses. You have to learn from them and be like, okay, this is what I got to do. Yeah, dude, that Blake Alvey fight, I ain't never been beat up like that before, ever.
That one, yeah.
He told me after, he was like, man, you're a savage for jumping up two weight. Like,
Yeah.
you're going 45 like that.
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy because
he's a big dude.
oh my god, yeah.
Huge.
Everybody was texting me because they saw like the face-off pictures and they were like, okay, this guy's not that big. And then my fiance and her brother were there, and they said that they saw him walk out and they were just like, oh fuck.
Big, man.
But walking out, dude, it was so weird because when I walked out, it wasn't like normally I'm like dialed in, like locked in, like all right. And I'm like you, I don't really like warming up that. I like hitting some pads, like, doing
Dude,
a little bit.
It's funny, being a grappler, I don't do any ground warm-ups. I just hit mitts.
Really?
I don't do anything on the ground. I was like, well, I just think
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and like when I go and do stuff in the gym, I don't warm up and stuff like that before I do it in the gym. That's just how I always thought. Like
that is a good way of looking at it.
Like I stretch and hit mitts and stuff, but I don't do any ground
That's kind of what I do. I like seeing people in front of me a little bit, but then that's it.
Yeah.
But walking out, it was the complete opposite. Like normally I'm locked in, like I'm like, all right, we're fucking this dude up, like we're gonna whip his ass. It wasn't like that. When I was walking out, I was like seeing people, and I was seeing people that I knew,
picking up on things,
and I was like, oh, this ain't good.
Yeah, doesn't usually happen. Yeah.
And I got in there, and I was like, normally I like run around the cage, and I didn't, and I like looked out of the cage, and literally in my head I was like, this isn't good. And then like the way the LFA works is it's so fast. Like normally like the regional promotions is like they kind of dick off, take their time.
Something going on,
but there it was like you're not walking out with your coaches, you're not taking your clothes off, like your stuff's already off, like they're putting Vaseline on you before you even walk out.
It's crazy.
And so you walk in, they walk in, and then you're scrapping.
Yeah.
And it was like it was basically like, oh shit, I'm about to get in a fist fight, and I'm not ready for it. He kicked my leg, dude, and I fell on my ass, and I was like,
I remember watching, because like I said, I was there live watching that because Chelsea had fought later that night. And I remember watching, I was like, I'll see Hayden's fight. This would be interesting. I see he's fighting Blake Alvey. I threw that leg kick. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, oh, Hayden's might have a long night.
Yep. It was a long night. I was so mad. Like, hindsight 2020, it's probably good that I tapped, but I wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much time. If I knew there was 17 seconds
close,
left,
weren't you?
yeah, there was
really
like
close.
17 or something like that.
It was real close.
I would have just, fucking, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Go out.
But I didn't, so hindsight 2020 usually.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
Dude, fighting is nuts,
It
bro.
is, man.
And you can never explain it to someone who's never done it.
That's what I was like, you just gotta feel it. Like,
yep.
Like in the moment of winning a fight is like, there's no feeling like that. That's the coolest thing in the world is winning a fight. Like nothing I've ever done is that cool.
Yeah.
That's why I'll be like, after this fight, man, I need to take a break. And then I'll win. I'm like, dude, I'm fighting next month. I can't wait. Like, I want to fight again. Just 'cause that.
Me and my fiance have been watching. We watched the old and the new Gladiator, and it's just so crazy because one of Sean O'Malley's coaches posted like a video of his full walkout against just like recently against Merab, and I was like, holy shit, dude! Like being in the when he was walking out, it looked like they were in the Coliseum. Like everybody's hanging over, screaming in your face,
throwing shit,
it's
like
crazy,
middle fingers and shit at you while you're walking by. It's crazy.
It's so nuts.
I love doing walkouts like that. Like I like the ones like LFA had the little stage, like that's cool. My last Cage Thunder one had the stage. Like the stage stuff's cool. I think I like it when they make it a production like that. I think that's cool.
Me too.
Like putting effort in instead of just throwing a cage in a building. Like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
like
let's just put on fights. It's like no, let's have fun.
Yeah,
like,
make it cool, man.
Yeah,
like, I like it when they do it like that.
Me too. All right, let's take a quick break. So you just said your dad was a pro wrestler in Ohio?
Yeah, ever since I was a little. He's been wrestling since before I was even born. So
that's
I've been
sick,
around
dude.
that my whole life. Like But yeah, that's probably where I get the
promotion.
I love talking on the microphone after fights.
Dude, I might need to take some of your advice. Like,
Dude, it's just,
what advice do you have talking shit on the mic?
It's just don't think about it. Don't hold anything back. Because if you think about it too much, you're going to start stuttering. You're going to sound stupid. Just say what's on your mind. Like, I've said some stuff on the mic, and I'll watch it back. I'm like, why did I say that? Like, that's crazy. But it's just because I'm just letting it go. But, I mean, sometimes I'll think ahead of time, like, an idea of what I want to say. Like, my last fight, I knew I want to say something about Roman.
Yeah.
Like, I always have something planned. Like, dude, when we fought, I had... I was going to make some joke about... What was it? I was gonna say something about sugar and honey and it's like, I don't know. I had something about, I don't know. It's something like nothing sweet about it. I don't know. So I had something lined up.
That would have been fire, dude.
Dude, I had a plan, and then I was gonna make. This is funny. So I'm feel bad. I'm gonna forget his name. Your buddy with the blonde hair.
Isaac.
Yes, Isaac. You had him on here one time, and I watched, and you said something about me, like you said, like Connor Smith wants to fight me, and he was like, "Oh, you'll beat Connor Smith up." And I remember I screen recorded it. I had it saved, and I was gonna make it into I was like, "Dude, I'm beat Hayden. I'm win this belt.
Dude,
I'll make this post," and I was gonna have that clip in and everything, and I was like, I can delete this clip now. It was so funny. I was like, I'll just go ahead and delete that.
That's sick though. Anymore. I need to start. I was kind of talking, like, brainstorming with my fiance, and I was just saying, like, I think that's the way to go. Like, basically just have fun and kind of, if people are like hating on you, like, make videos about that. Like, if people are saying this,
I think the skits you do, I think that sounds funny. I think that's hilarious.
Dude, that one you had the other day,
I literally thought about that the other day. I was like, how can
you add him? You should have added Roman. That would have been funny.
I thought about doing like missing posters. But then it was like so last minute. I was like, I ain't got time to print out the missing poster.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just do the fight list. Like, I'm homeless outside the.
That was so fire.
Asking for fights and stuff. I just figured that was funny because this has been like the longest I've gone without having a fight. Like, I haven't fought at all this year, which is weird. Usually, like I said, fight 4 times a year. Yeah. So I haven't been doing anything. I was like, it's kind of weird.
It's good though.
I've been training. Yeah. Like, I still train all the time, but it's like.
How many times do you train a day usually?
I'll train 5 days a week. And I have a morning practice every day, and then my evening practices. So, like, morning practice would be, like, an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning, and then evening will be, if I put them all together, like, it'll be, like, probably, like, 4 hours in the evening that night, too. Just
4 hours in the evening?
If you put it all together. Okay. So, like, an hour is wrestling, an hour is this. But if you put it all together, it'd probably be 4 total at the evening, too. So, it just depends, and every day is different on what I'm doing, so.
Yeah, that's... yeah. I mean, I feel like that's pretty standard.
Yeah, right? I mean, I just have I've got my life set up to where I can do it. So, like, that was always a big thing, too. I was like, I wanted to give it everything I had into fighting now while I'm 20. Yeah. Like, I have no responsibilities in my life. Like, if there's ever time to try to go 100% into something, it's right now. I'd rather try it now. And if it works, perfect. I'm living my dream. If it doesn't work, I can live a normal life and say, at least I gave it a shot and I have cool stories. If I never tried it and just lived a normal life my whole life, I'd be like, man, what if I was really good? You know what I mean?
I have this like idea that I came up with that it's like, you hear all these, like, I mean, I don't know if you're super religious or whatever, but you hear all these, like, religious people talking about Judgment Day, right? But I don't know if I can get myself to believe, like, Judgment Day is some, like, esoteric being in the sky that's you did not do this. Like, I don't think that's what it is. I think Judgment Day is, like, the day that like, you're going to die. Like, death is imminent. Like, you're laying on your deathbed. Yeah. And you're like, wow, I wasted all of the potential I had because I could have been a world champion fighter. I could have been this. I could have been that. Kind of like a similar concept to what David Goggins says of, like, you get to the pearly gates and he's you Navy SEAL, this, and he goes down a long list and you're like, who is that? And he was like, oh, that's who you were supposed to be. Yeah. But instead you were this 300-pound guy who didn't have enough discipline to do the things and the hard shit. So I was kind of like playing with the similar idea. Like, Judgment Day is just you judging yourself that way, where it's like, I don't know. I work with a lot of people. Like I said, I'm in pharmacy school and I work with, like, I'm just around people that their life is just so just so boring,
Yeah,
bro. It's
I
like
know,
this is just a, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this, dude. That's how like I said. That's how I've always seen it. And I'll get people that like think it's like, dude, that's the way to look at it. And some people are like, dude, that's dumb. You need to be making as much money as possible right now. And I was like, dude, I was like, at the end of the day, I get one life to live. If I use all that my life just working every day to make a bunch of money, I have all this money and I'm old. I have nothing to do with it. I said, I'm trying to live the coolest life I can possibly live right now.
Yep.
I said that right now. I said for me, that's doing all this. Like, dude, this whole year I've traveled all over, cornering people, seeing all these cool fight shows, fighting all these people. Like, I've done so much cool stuff, and I was like, I'm only 20. Like, I can keep doing this stuff for a while before I need to settle down and have a life. I was like dude, so many people I went to school with, like, they already have kids. I'm like, dude, we're 20. You should not be having a kid right now. Like, you are not ready for a kid, and like, so their life, they're locked down. They don't get to have fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I need to have fun and do all my stuff. Enjoy my life right now while I'm young. No point in trying to live young when I'm old. Live young while I'm young is what I've always thought.
I mean, that's super. I feel like that's the most important, like, form of wisdom you can have. Because, like you said, people are talking about, you need to be making so much money. And it's like, and sometimes you kind of think, like, fuck, dude, like you were saying, the kids you go to school with, they probably have full-time jobs, they're making good money, but it's like, okay, but they also hate their life.
Exactly.
Like, I would much rather be absolutely broker than shit and living the life that I want to live.
Exactly.
You can't take that stuff with you.
No,
you could be a multi-millionaire and die.
Yes, dude, that's exactly, like, I used to think too, like, people would always, growing up, I'd always hear that, you know, money can't buy happiness. And as a kid, I was like, dude, if you give me all this money, I'll be so happy. I don't care. And then I worked a job that would make me that money. I was like, I do not want to be here at all. I said, I want to fight. I want to do this. So like I said, I've just tried to set up my life to where I can train and do as much stuff around fighting as possible. Like, I'm around it all day, every day at this point. Like, dude, we got done at that fight show last night. We're sitting, we always, like I said, we celebrate, go to Waffle House. We went to Waffle House. I'm sitting there watching the fight night on my phone. I got it pressed up against, like, the salt thing on the table. We're watching that. I was like, dude, I can't get away from this stuff. It's just, it's what I want to do. It makes me happy. I was like, so I'm going to do as much as I possibly can. Anything, you know, any way I can.
That's, I think, the best way to live life.
100%.
That's my opinion. Some people might think
100%.
differently, but
that's how you should do it.
Yeah. So I just, I don't know. I mean, I mean, enough said. You said it perfectly. Like,
it's just, I don't know. And, like, I always, growing up, everybody was, I want to do this when I'm older. I was like, I don't know. I still didn't know. Like, I was a senior in high school. I didn't know I still didn't know what I want to do. And I was panicking. I was like, dude, I should know what I want to do by now. Like, how do I not know what I want to do with my life? And then I just thought, and everyone's like, well, work, you don't work a day in your life, you love what you do. I hear that all the time. And I was like, well, what do I love to do? I was like, I love everything that's to do with fighting, whether it is fighting, whether it's cornering. Dude, I would love to run my own promotion one day. Like, that would be so sick. Cool. Yeah. Like, if I can, so I was like, dude, I got to find a way to make that my job. So, like, I've got as close as I can to where that's what I do. And I was like, I
mean, you make a name in fighting, you can have your own promotion.
I was like, dude, do I make all the money in the world? No. I said, but I'm okay with that. I make enough for me to what I need where I don't have to worry about it, and I get to do everything that I want to do right now. So, dude, I can't complain at all about anything right now.
Yeah. That's like, I've struggled a bit because it's like, fuck, dude, I shouldn't have went to college. I should have done this, but I didn't know I wanted to fight until I was in college. Like,
so, well, how old would you have been for your debut then? Unless your age is
I think I was 24.
I said unless your age.
I don't really care. I was 24, I think, when I was my debut. Yeah, I was 24. Wow. So, I mean, I had played college basketball for.
Yeah, I saw you always walk out with the jerseys on.
Yeah, because, I mean, I thought basketball was like my thing. Yeah. Like, I was decent at basketball, but you're playing Division II basketball with guys that, like, they're legit, and
that is what they're doing.
That, like, I just think people have callings, and that wasn't it. You know?
Yeah, 100%. That's how growing up, dude. I played football, and then I'm not big at all. I was like, dude, you're not playing football. You need to find something else to do.
I wish I had that level of, what would that be, self-awareness to be like, all right, basketball is not your thing, homie.
Yeah. I'm glad I did too. I was like,
I
was like, dude, you're not doing, because I was just not liking it. Like, it wasn't fun anymore. Like, I got to the point where I was dreading practice. I was like, dude, if you're dreading going, you probably don't want to do it anymore. So I was like, dude, this isn't for me anymore. And then I was like stuck for a while. I didn't have a sport at all. Like, I was like, this is kind of weird because I always had something after school to do because I either had a practice or something. So then I just started going to the gym a lot, and I actually lost weight. Like, my freshman in high school, I was like a short little fat kid. I was like, well, fat for me was like 160 because I'm short. So that was fat for me. And I ended up leaning out and everything, and I was like, dude, I need to. And then I always liked watching the UFC and MMA and stuff. And I was like, that'd be cool to do. Like, everyone's like, dude, what got you into it? Like, everyone has some cool story. Mine was like, that would be cool. I'll try it. That was really it. Like, I didn't have a cool story at all. That's all it was.
Your story is cool in your own way.
Yeah, literally. Like, I knew where it came from. Like, I started, a guy my dad used to work with, he used to fight in Ohio back in the day. I used to pay him $20 and he'd come train me in the living room, like, on the carpet.
That's sick.
He's trying to teach me sweeps off the ground and rub it on the carpet. Dude, it was so stupid. And then I ended up doing a little bit up at a gym in Sydney. Oh, okay. It's not up for you.
Yeah.
But in Sydney. And I was there for a little bit, and then I ended up finally where I'm at now, and I've been there ever since. And so I was like, I did end up working itself out in the end because, like I said, there was a point after football, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, I would just go home and, like, I was like, I feel like a bum. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I hated it.
At some point, just, I don't know. That's fire. I like that.
You'll find. I always tell people, I was like, you'll find something, and like you'll know if it's what you want to do. Like, I knew once like I said, that first fight, I was like, dude, I want to do this again. Like, this is so fun. I mean, there'll always be the moments where I'm like, dude, after we fought, I was like, dude, I'm not fighting again. This is stupid. And then literally the next week, I told my coach, I was like, I'm booking a fight in December because they give you the suspension. We fought on the 5th?
I think it was October 5th.
Something like that. So it would have been December 5th when my thing was up.
Because so what is it, 60 days?
Yeah,
usually?
I think they gave me a 60-day thing. And so they were like, you got 60 days, and I was like, dude, I'm going to find something in December. And I told my coach, I'm finding something in December. I'm fighting at 125. I'm going down to my right weight. I said, and I'm fighting at 25. I said, I'm not going to fight someone that sucks. I'm going to fight someone in the top 10 in Ohio. I fought Nick Lute. I think he was 10 or 9 at the time. I got that fight off of two months after we had just fought. And I had so many people that told my coach, like, there's no way he fights again after that. Like, getting finished like that, he's not going to fight again. That's going to ruin his psyche. He's too young of a kid, blah, blah, all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I don't care. But, dude, there was, like, the week after, I was, like, depressed. I thought I was.
I mean, that's just the ups and downs of fighting. I was like that too. It's just
how it goes.
Ups and downs, highs and lows.
Yeah, that week after, I was like, I got off all social media because every time I got on, it was just the clip. I was like, bro, I've seen it. I get it. I was there. Like, it was crazy.
Social media is so toxic.
That's especially with fighting, dude, because like I always think about it like, my mom, like, love her to death. She doesn't get it, and I was like. She goes, well, why aren't you have been on social media? I was like, because I keep seeing the clip of that. She goes, why would they post? I was like, because it's a highlight for. I said, if I did that to him, I would have put that shit on a T-shirt, bro. I said, it's everywhere. I said, that's how it works. I was like, Mom, I said, I post my highlights all the time. I said, I got videos of me choking guys out. Yeah. I said, do you think they like to see that? I was like, no. I said, but that's part of the game. I said, you know, if you lose, you're gonna be up there as a loser. Like, it's how it goes. And
it's
it's
like playing poker. I mean, you're gambling.
Dude, it is. It's a gamble. Like, either you're gonna make your own highlight, or you're gonna be on somebody else's highlight. You know what I mean? So that's just part of how it goes. And like I said, I've accepted it.
I like the whole Sean. Like, getting off social media. Like, I want to get to a point where it's like, I don't ever have to get on this shit again.
I need to do it so bad. I hate how attached I am to my phone. Like, it
me
makes
too.
me so mad.
Bro.
Every time I'm just picking, I'm like, dude, you don't even have to look at it right now. You're just doing it because it's out of habit. Like, and I hate it. It controls me, and I can't stand it.
Unfortunately, right now, as as amateurs, you have to. You gotta be.
It's huge. Like I said, with the whole promoting yourself, like, you have to be on your phone. I was like, ugh.
So. What would you say your morning routine's like, or do you have a morning routine?
It varies. I mean, I get up for morning practice. I always have practice right in the morning. So
what time usually?
Lately we push it back lately, but we used to do it. It would be 10 a.m. is when we used to do it. So I get up. I try to get about an hour before that because I'd get home a little late from the practice the night before.
Gotcha.
So I get up. And I try to eat a little bit. I try to eat light, though. I don't want to eat a ton before. I'm usually, if I would do a light breakfast, it usually water, banana, and then sometimes if I'm hungry, I'll make some eggs with it just to do something light before practice because I hate practicing when your stomach feels heavy.
Dude, that sucks.
I'm like, dude, I feel slow. Or if it's or if you're empty and it's tired and you're like, dude, now I'm super tired. So, like, it's so hard finding that right balance of what to eat before practice, just to, make sure you have enough energy. But like I said, I get up about an hour before, make sure I'm eat or whatever, and cleaned up, ready to go. And usually when I had my dog, I would always be taking care of the dog right before I go there, and then head to practice. My days now, I usually don't have breaks for anything. Like, it's one thing to another. Like, it's from practice to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, then I'm at home. I go to bed. Like, I'm only at home to sleep at this point. Like, I'm usually always somewhere else, which I don't mind. I like being busy because when I'm not busy, I feel like it creates bad habits when I'm not busy. I know I'll eat something I shouldn't eat. I'll do something I shouldn't do. I just feel like a bum. I was like, especially when I'm cutting weight, I need to be busy because if I'm not, I'll be, one of these won't hurt my weight, and then all of a sudden I'm 10 pounds heavy. I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I always try to stay busy when I can.
Yeah. Do you dabble in any drugs?
I do not, dude. Like, actually, like, it's crazy. Growing up, obviously everybody in school, they're drinking, smoking, whatever. And I got nothing against it. Everybody I'm around smokes, and like it's just not for me. It's never been something that I want to do.
Not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not like I hate. I'm like, oh, you do that, you're gross. Like, no, I don't hate on anybody that does. It's just not for me. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything really. I'm pretty clean.
Body's a temple.
Yeah,
hell
that stuff. I'm pretty clean with that.
Do any caffeine?
Yeah, I do caffeine. That would probably be the thing. Like, everybody's like, I'm addicted to this. I'm like, dude, I'm addicted to, like, probably sugar, honestly, which sucks.
Dude, I think everybody's addicted to sugar, straight up.
Yeah, it's bad. But other than that, like I said, I mean, no, I don't do, like I said, I don't do anything like that. But I say caffeine, sugars are probably the worst thing put it in my body.
All right, we'll cut that back in. Okay, anyway. So where would you say you see yourself in 5 years? So you're 20 now. 25, where do you see yourself?
Well, fight-wise, I'd like to be pro, for sure. I was hoping to go pro at the end of this year, but it's June and I haven't fought. So I'm going to have to probably push it back. I'd say I'd be pro by 2027, and depending on how active I am, that goes well. Hopefully 5 years, 25, hopefully I'm fighting, on some big level stuff. Like, I feel like amateur-wise, I've done the fights. I'm still, like, don't want to go pro yet, but I've done fights of different styles and people to get me what I'm ready for. Like, I fought the crazy wrestlers, I fought the crazy strikers, I fought good jiu-jitsu guys. Like, my last guy that I fought, Nick Lute, was a judo guy and a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. At the time, I was a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and I won everything on the ground. March 24, I fought that Jeff Freeman kid. He was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu at the time. Now he's a purple belt. I submitted him. Yeah. Like, there's my jiu-jitsu guys. I fought guys like you, Marcelino. I fought Caden Hastings. Yeah. I fought good strikers, tall, long strikers. Dude, he's I fought too. Tight boxers, like short, compact boxers like Marcelino. And then I fought that Fabian kid, the good wrestlers like that. I was going to fight Roman, another good wrestler. I've really tried to branch out and fight all these guys that I need to fight. Like I said, once you go pro, your amateur record doesn't matter. So, like, I always say, if there's a fight, you're like, ooh, that guy might beat me. Well, take it now. Take it as an amateur. Don't wait and take it as a pro. That's always the whole thing with Roman. Everyone's like, dude, Roman's going to beat you. I'm like, well, why would I'm going to fight him now. I'm not going to wait and fight him as a pro, and then he beats me as a pro. Yeah. I'm going to fight him now. Because obviously I have full confidence that I could beat him. Obviously, he thinks he can beat me. That's how it's supposed to be. But I feel like you got to take those fights when you're an amateur. Because, like I said, if you cherry pick as an amateur and you go to pro, all of a sudden you're an 0-5 pro. Like, oh, what happened? You were a good amateur. Well, look who he fought. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
I don't want to be that guy.
That's a good perspective. Yeah. Good way of looking at it.
Well, that's what I was going to say about you with your fights. I'm not the Timmy fights, but the other two fights are going to, I think those are going to age really well. Yeah. Beating me and Castro. Yeah. I think those are going to age very well.
I mean, both of you guys are really good. Yeah. And, like I said, Blake Alvey.
Yeah. And fighting Blake Alvey in general. I feel like those are, like I said, I gave you credit for taking the fight with me because I thought it was a bad matchup for you. Mm-hmm. I really did. I was like, dude, that's a good matchup for me. That's bad for Hayden. So the fact that you took it, I respected it a lot because I was coming off a good win streak, got a lot of momentum. I thought my style matched up bad for your style. I was like, dude, and he's taking it against a guy at the time. I was 4-2 when we fought. Yeah. 3 fights in a row. I was like, dude, I mean,
Yep.
He's not cherry picking, like he's taking.
And I kind of had the same perspective you did. Like, dude, I want to take as difficult as possible fights now, because I mean, you do in my opinion, you do kind of got to cherry pick fights as a pro. Because if you don't, you're just kind of dumb, in my opinion.
No, I see. There's definitely a time and place for it.
But like, I mean, what let's say you're a 3-0 pro. You're gonna fight the fucking 16-0 Dagestani guy. No, you're not gonna do that. So, I mean, but like, to your point, like, taking the very difficult fights now, and if you lose, cool. That's just a lesson that you can learn from. Like, okay, that guy out wrestled me. All right, I know I need to work on my wrestling. Yeah. So that's a good perspective. You seem like you got a good fucking head on your shoulders. Like, you're 20 years old. You already know what you want to do. You're doing. Yeah. You know, you're doing what you want to do. You're not just, I want to do this. No, you're doing it.
I hate the idea of just not knowing, if that makes sense. Like, it's so broad of a thing to say, but like, just not having a plan or an idea and just like, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like, I can't do that. Yeah. I want to know what I'm doing tomorrow. I want to know what I'm doing this day. Like, I want to know ahead of time, because if not, I'll stress stuff out. Like, I stress stuff out way too much. So like, if I can have it planned out or have a goal in mind of what I do, if I don't feel like I have a motivation or a drive to do something, I don't want to get in a hole of being super lazy, like I said, and then creating them bad habits and all that stuff. So it's like, I need that idea or that motivation, and I feel like
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I want to do this. I want to be here. How am I going to be here? So not doing this will help. Doing this will help. Like, it'll help me create good habits. Yeah. Knock out the bad habits and
straight up
set myself up, I feel like.
Do you have any hobbies outside of fighting? You like play video games?
I do. I don't play video games as much as I used to, because I don't have as much time. But I do play video games. I used to be an Xbox guy. I switched to PlayStation.
Come on, bro.
I know. I saw the Xbox. I was always on Xbox in high school, and then, dude, because like Fortnite was huge when I was in junior high, so we played that. That's all we played.
Yeah, like, Fortnite used to be gas. I don't like it as much anymore.
No, I don't touch it at all anymore. But like, I would
play COD.
I'd always play that. I never got into first-person shooters. I always sucked. Really? I sucked so bad at first-person shooters. I was always good at sports games. Like, dude, Madden was. I was like, dude, it was so funny. In like 8th grade, it was like Madden 18. It was like, I was like the man. And like, pick one dude, like, oh, Connor's the man at Madden. Like, that's what I'd play. Everybody want to play me.
Hustling people.
Dude, there was funny, because there was this one kid in my language arts class, barely talked or whatever, and he's like, I hear you play Madden. Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, I don't just play Madden. Like, I am, you know. And he's like,
I'm that guy.
He's like, well, he's getting his gamer tag. He goes, well, can we play tonight? I was like, yeah, we'll play, dude, whatever. And I'm in a party with my buddies. This kid's not in the party. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to play this kid Madden or whatever. This kid smokes me in Madden. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, I'm not talking on a headset at all. My buddies are like, how's the game going? I was like, bro, I'm getting whooped right now. This kid is crazy good. And then he smokes me and then sends me a message. I think he goes, haha, good game, thank you. I was like, oh my God. And I had to go see him at school the next day. I was like, dude, how do you that? He goes, I love Madden. I was like, I can tell, bro. You just smoked me. It was crazy. I thought I was the man. And this kid's doing stuff I'd never seen before. I was like, never mind.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so like, I play sports games. And then I love like, my favorite game of all time, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dude, that game is so good.
So good. That's the best story, character building, and like, that's like my all-time favorite game. So I love story games like that, so I've always loved that, and like obviously GTA and any single player story like Rockstar. I feel like it's super basic to say that's my favorite game developer, but like, dude, they make good games. Like,
they really do.
Their games are good. So like, I've always played games like that. Like I said, never been a first person shooter. I always sucked at them. My buddies are good. Like, dude, you want to play COD? I'm like, dude, I suck at COD. Or they want to play Rainbow.
I've never played. I used to play that like a long time ago.
I like twice. I was like, dude, I suck at this. Like, dude,
that game is really hard. Yeah. That game is like, I don't even know. It's almost like real life.
It is, like, dude. I'm like, dude, this is so much going on. I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
Like, I could never do those.
You dabble in the conspiracies any?
It depends which ones it is.
What's your favorite conspiracy?
Well, so okay, conspiracy wise, like, are you talking like, this is what I think really happened in something, or are you talking like believing in something that people, like aliens? Would that be, are you talking stuff like that, or are you talking like people being like, I believe in this? Like, whatever. I've always been, when it comes to stuff like that, I think talking about like say aliens. I think aliens 100%. Like, there's no way we're the only planet with living stuff on it. Like, there, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be another one. Like, so I've always believed in that. Ghost, I've always been 50-50 on Ghost.
Yeah,
like,
me
like,
too.
I always see videos like, man, that's got to be fake.
Have you heard the Antarctica thing?
No, what is that?
So they're saying that like there's reports that like past a certain point in Antarctica, it's like you kind of like go into this different like world basically. Like there's animals that are not our animals or like trees, and they're almost saying that that's where like they think aliens come from, that they come from like that other side of Antarctica.
That would be insane.
I haven't done enough research into it to know.
I've not heard that. That's crazy. Well, yeah, because nobody goes. Obviously, you can't really go deep in Antarctica like that, so that would make sense.
Or the ocean.
Dude, the ocean. I was gonna say the ocean is a big one. I think there's got to be the craziest looking things that live down there. I can't swim. Straight up, I don't know how to swim. I hate deep water, so I hate the ocean. But to think like they've only explored, I don't even know what percent it is.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, something like super
something
low.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I think they actually stopped because it was like, all right, there's no point.
Exactly, there's so much, and like the crazy stuff that we do know that lives down there. Like, how is that even a real thing? Think just what's even farther, dude. Like, there's gotta be like all this stuff that's supposed to be extinct. Like, dude, there's a good chance it's just down there somewhere. Like,
straight up
in the ocean. Like,
they just like evolved and they're like, all right, we're gonna go into the ocean.
Underwater now. Like, you never know what's down there.
Straight up. Yeah, I 100% agree with aliens. Like, I think it's almost a 0% chance that we're the only thing.
There's all these solar systems and planets. You think this is the only one with living people? Like, there's probably some. They look at what we're doing right now and think it's like, oh, they're years behind us. They probably got crazy stuff that we don't even know about. Like, just to even think about that is crazy. Like,
I heard this theory on Joe Rogan that like aliens are kind of us, but like in the future. So like we eventually evolved to become aliens, basically. It's like like a theory, because if you look at like the way humans are like evolving, we're starting to get longer and skinnier,
like aliens.
And like aliens.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so,
the
pyramids too. Like, I think there's like a 0% chance that they had slaves building pyramids. Like, insane. Bro,
those dudes are working hard at this.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
Then the like X-ray vision stuff of like, did you see that? There's like I don't know what it's called, but they took like a image of the pyramids and it actually goes down like miles, like underneath,
all the way down.
So like that's almost just like a cap, and then it like miles down. So
that's crazy.
Or we're just in a simulation, one of the two.
Dude, that one. To even think that one's wild.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It's pretty crazy.
But like that's the thing though. If it's a simulation, who's controlling the simulation? You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing in itself. Like,
I don't know.
That's the thing. That's a whole nother thing. It's like
I heard this one guy talking. I can't remember his name. He was on Joe Rogan, and he was like this game developer. Like, he was an expert in developing games. And he was like pushing the theory, like simulation theory. And he was like saying that basically if you, like particles, like these things, like if you take like matter down to its most basic form, it's just particles. And then it goes into like quantum theory where like at the very basic level, I don't know. He's talking about like bits, like in computers and stuff, and he was saying that like it's like that, but like matter's like that. So when you take it down to the most basic level, it's almost like bits of information, like in a computer. And he was like, so it's very possible that our like reality is being rendered from a different. I was like, bro,
how do you even figure that out? Like, that's wild, even.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Imagine the first person he told about that. He goes, so I have a theory. He just breaks
dude.
that whole thing down.
I think
to
he wrote a book. I kind of want to read it. Oh my god. He also there was like case studies of like, or reports of people saying that like they remember Germany winning the war. Like the United States lost, and Germany won the war, and they like reran the simulation. So they remember like the first simulation, but they reran it.
They deleted their save file, just went back.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah,
crazy.
Last save checkpoint.
Yeah, like, that didn't get the way we wanted. Hold on, let's do that.
But
that's that's wild.
I love conspiracies, bro.
Dude, yeah, I used to get into them a lot or stuff like that, and then like so I just haven't had time to look into certain things. But like, It's such a fun rabbit hole to go down. Like,
It is.
You'll start believing stuff. You're like, that makes sense. Like, you start thinking about it, and like, that stuff
100%.
makes sense. Like, it's wild though.
I don't know.
Those would be crazy.
It is crazy to kind of just play with some of the theories and then like what happened. Yeah, but well, I don't want to keep you any longer. Is there any? You said you might fight in August.
Yeah, I'm looking at August. It would be a title fight, flyweight title fight. So
flyweight title fight in August. Stay tuned for that. What's your social media? So
you can find me on Instagram at i.am_Connor Smith. I used to have TikTok. Got hacked, and I don't have it anymore. So I used to plug my TikTok. I used to put it on my fight shorts and everything. But
that's badass.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I put my handles on it. I put my sponsors, my handles. So my last shorts I just wore had my TikTok and my Instagram on them, and I had my sponsors, my fight logos, like they were covered.
That's
I used
sick.
to put all kinds of stuff on them.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna.
But
do
yeah,
that.
I can't plug a TikTok no more. I don't have
that.
But dude, no, it's a good idea. You put QR codes, like all kinds of stuff.
That's
on it,
fire.
Dude, you put your YouTube on it. Put all that stuff on it. I'm telling you, put it on your shorts. It's a good idea.
That is a really good idea.
Do.
Last thing I want to ask: tattoos. Where do you get your tattoos done? Because those are fire.
I get them done at Endless Ink Tattooing in Piqua. My coach, Coach Johnny, he owns a tattoo shop. So
that's fire.
One of my teammates, multiple of my teammates are tattoo artists. Dylan Carnes does like all of these. Like I just got this one done the other day.
Let's see it.
It says "Born to Entertain."
That's fire.
Yep, and then he did this one up here because. Dude, there's so many stories behind these tattoos.
Those are sick. All right, fuck it. Well,
so, this is a whole fight-inspired arm. So, like, obviously, Connor Showtime Smith is what that one's from. My first fight date is what that one is. When I first started fighting, I used to be Connor the Kid. And that's what this is. It's Billy the Kid. One of Dead or Alive. And then, obviously, Born to Entertain. Cause I feel
that is sick. I see the cage on the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the elbow, the Ohio.
Dude,
the cage on it.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, so...
I like that.
Slowly working on that. This one's almost done. I just gotta get the shading, and I'll be finally done with my sleeve.
What are you thinking? Double sleeved up?
See, I originally wasn't gonna touch this arm. I do have a little one right here, and then I'm literally like scheduling. I was literally scheduling one like before I left here. I'm gonna get one on my arm for my dog, like right here on my arm. So I was like, now this arm's getting covered.
Yep.
This one's. Just says type shit right above my knee.
That
one's funny. I got one on my foot. I got a bomb on my foot.
That's sick.
I got one behind my ear. It just says win behind my ear. And then my favorite one probably on my ribs is one for my mom. She's got this tattoo on her forearm for symbolize all the stuff that she's dealt with for like all her health. She has her health problems or whatever. And this is all. I surprised her with it. She didn't know I was getting it. It's matching her tattoo. So I got that one on my ribs.
That's cool.
I think that's everything right now that I got. But like I said, eventually that'll be done. I would love it to continue onto my chest. I just got to find more ideas. Ideas. Oh, and then I got my FT for Fightopia.
Oh, that's
there.
badass.
Every time first time you win an MMA fight for Fightopia, Johnny will give you the FT. So
that's cool.
So yeah, I got that one up there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's basically all of those that he does.
That's really good though.
Oh yeah, dude. Johnny's been doing this forever. Dylan is. I don't even want to say he is newer to tattooing, but dude, he's like just naturally.
It don't look like it. That's really good. That skull is gnarly.
Some of these too, dude. The pain level on some of these was. Rough.
Dude, I thought how'd the hand feel?
The hand is probably not even on like my top 3 worst ones.
Really?
Yeah, I would say.
What would you say is worst?
My ribs.
Yeah.
My ribs is.
I hear a lot of people say that.
That was terrible. And then I used to say my foot. My foot was bad. But dude, this right here, because this goes all the way like into my armpit.
Oh,
that was horrible.
I hear
that was just the other week, and I was sweating. I was like laying there, and I would like bridge my body because for some reason it felt like it was helping. Like dude, that one was bad.
Pain, yeah.
My hand, like I said, the knuckles were bad, and then right here on the side. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. And obviously, I think the forearm's not the worst. This tricep wasn't too bad.
This one was like. Pretty.
There's a lot going on in that one.
Yeah, like he had done all of the detail of the gates, and then, I mean, after that he took the shading needle and was shading underneath the gates, and I was like, bro, holy fuck! I was like,
the end of that shading just starts to suck over there.
It's almost like I don't know. It just feels like somebody's taking a knife and just cutting you on the same spot.
And it's almost like I always say too, like, oh, well, right here's real bad too. That ditch in the elbow.
Yep. Because I had. when he started getting up in here, like the top of the gates, I was like, oof.
Dude, like I had done all this stuff here and didn't do my elbow,
Mm-hmm.
and then like skipped to the FT. Like I'd skipped over all of it. I was like, dude, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
So I eventually got that done. I almost prefer like the pain of being on the bone, as weird as that sounds, more than like these tender spots like here.
Yeah.
Like the elbow,
Mm-hmm.
I would sit through another elbow tattoo before I'd sit
Before
through
you do
another
that.
bicep.
Yeah.
Like how weird as that sounds, because that's right on bone. I feel like that doesn't hurt as bad.
That's bad. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how it's always been for me. I feel like that's easier to sit through.
I mean,
everybody's different though. I've had people
true.
be like, "Oh, my ribs didn't hurt at all." I was like, "Really?" Because I was about to cry. Like I was like in pain for my ribs. So it's just I don't know.
I love tattoos.
They're fun, man.
Out.
Like I already told, like I said, Dylan did all these. He has all these cool designs that he wants to do on my leg, and I was like, dude, I'll let you do it. So he's got all these designs for my leg. So eventually, I'm gonna get my leg done.
Dude, you're gonna be looking like Cheeto.
Dude, I know.
Covered.
I'm gonna be covered. I'm gonna get nothing stupid like that Cody Garbrandt sword on his. You see that?
You think? Yeah, dude.
Because it doesn't line up. It's like
it is.
It's over
It is
a
like
bit.
over
I'm like,
a bit.
dude. I'm like,
Did you hear why he did that?
No. What did he do that?
He was
it something real sad, and I just.
No, he was getting like in his armpit. He was getting a tattoo in his armpit, and he literally was just like, all right, we got to do something else. This hurts too bad. And so they did his face.
Instead. Dude, I'm telling you, like, he was, like, right here on this tee, and it felt like he was up here. So once he got up there, dude, oh my God.
Like getting about ready to scream.
Dude, it was bad. I was squirming. Yeah. I was squeezing on this stuff. I was sweating. I was like, dude, this is horrible. I'm almost done. I was like, I hope so, dude, because I don't know if I can sit here any longer. I'm not even looking forward to that shading too. I
need to get this sleeve finished. I've had this for a while.
It takes forever. I started this when I was like 16. It took me like 4 years to get all this.
Dude, I wish my mom would have let me got tattoos. She was like, no.
I really didn't think my mom would. Then one day I was like, how would you feel me getting a tattoo? She goes, sure. I was like, I'm doing it. Yeah. I'm doing it. Like, so that was always pretty cool. But,
yeah. All right.
I'm good there.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Plug your social media. Anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you. I say I've been watching your stuff since.
Hell yeah, dude. Every
time it feels like we were rumored to fight at some point, I was Hayden up to. His YouTube. See if he's talking about me. But no, like I said, this I love doing stuff like this, so this is real fun. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, you actually hit me up. We could do this again. We should do this again. This would be fun.
Dude, like I said, Sundays are like my days of nothing. So
yeah, me too. I usually do it on Sundays, so that's fire.
That's perfect, dude. Yeah, Sundays are my days of nothing. I can, like I said, I don't mind the drive. I can drive all the time. So
hell yeah, dude.
It's cool for me. Well, and then, like I said, my Instagram, I.am_Connor Smith on Instagram. Like I said, no TikTok.
I'll put it in the bio too.
Appreciate it. And then follow me on there. Hopefully, fight news coming soon. I'm always usually posting some funny posts I just put up the other day. Check that out. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
Well, hit the like and subscribe button. Check them out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Hell yeah.